Morgan Uber here for the Patriot League Network, and I'm here alongside former Lehigh men's basketball player Devon Carter. He's still at Lehigh, even after having graduated in 2016. We're here today to talk about your journey. Devon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Your freshman year, let's take a look back. You end up tearing your ACL, and you said you went through both an academic rehab as well as the rehab for your knee. How did that injury ultimately lead you to pursue higher education?
So the injury was huge for me because basketball at the time was priority number one. And I think that when basketball was taken away from me, I began to have to look at, life itself, life even after basketball. I knew I was going to be able to play on the team again, but I began to have a vested interest in academics due to the fact that, my parents kind of allowed me to come to Lehigh because of the importance that the academics could bring to the table. And so it led me to, actually switching my major from marketing to psychology and ending up getting a master's this past May in psychology, now pursuing a PhD in special education.
Peer mentorship has really been one of the key emphasis in terms of your research. Who has been the greatest mentor in your life?
So for me, I honestly have to say two. I think both of my parents have been an extreme help for me in this process due to the fact that I think they bring different things to the table. My mother, she's a sweetheart. I think she makes life easier for me. She handles kind of the behind the scenes work that I may be going through, whether it's emotionally or financially or whatever the case may be. And then I think my father, who is a motivational speaker, naturally that's what his job entails. He's allowed me to kind of focus on, how important looking at life is and the importance of having a strong, foundation in the things that, make you happy and then being significant in other people's lives and making them happy as well.
As a two-time captain of this Lehigh men's basketball program, how would you say that mentoring then and those young teammates of yours then has prepared you for the research that you're doing in peer mentorship now?
So I think being a captain has an extreme importance on a team, obviously, because they're kind of steering the ship. And it's important to realize that role and to be able to figure out ways, to talk to each and every player. I think a captain has a lot of different responsibilities in that each player is different, and so that he has to come to each person's table and maybe bring something different to that table. I think in regards to peer mentoring, I can see that in a similar aspect, in a similar way. I think that, when cooperation takes place, right, in whether it's a basketball setting or a academic setting, I think peer mentoring is meant to promote that cooperation in a way that's not necessarily authoritative, right? I think a captain, for example, plays a nice balance in that he's not a coach, but he's still someone that has a voice on the team.
Competition is the other main focus that you've done through your research and time here at Lehigh. How would you say that this idea of competition has helped you excel off the court and led you to the success in the classroom?
So I think competition is something that I haven't gotten away from since I was a young child. And having this opportunity in regards to my research to be able to focus on something that I'm extremely familiar with. I think competition has a way of spilling over into society, and so a lot of my research is looking at competition not only on the playing field but outside of the playing field. And then I think, academically, I think my focus is on self-competition in that regard. I want to be as open to learning as much as possible. I think that is the name of the game when it comes to life, right? How much can you learn while you're here, and then how much can you then give back, which is why the peer mentoring kind of is an important piece to my special education research.
Your future profession, you're hoping to become a professor. Your favorite professional basketball player is Kobe Bryant. So from a future Dr. Professor Carter perspective, how did competition fuel Kobe Bryant's success as a player?
I can say that competition is something that was him. I think in everything that he did, he competed. And I think not only did he compete, but he wanted to win. I think winning was inevitable for him. I think that even in regards to himself, right, I think he wanted to be a better person the next day, right? He woke up and he said, you know, how can I be a better individual? I think that that's something that I kind of look at him as a role model as, and that's something that I want to become as a better person each and every day. How can I do that? And that's something that's inevitable for me, just like being Bryant.
Devon, thank you so much for joining us today. We're looking forward to continuing to keep up with all of your future endeavors and future studies.
Thank you so much.